All right, we're live. We're live.
Welcome to day 5 of Virtual ArtsWeek.
Use the mic.
I should be using the mic. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
I'm getting a thumbs up. Welcome to Virtual ArtsWeek Day 5. I'm here with All Right Together, and we're going to just mention that we're going to be doing an open mic night, and there may be some content in some of the readings that is not appropriate for young viewers. And now I'm turning it over to the amazing Helena.
Hello and welcome to our open mic for All Right Together. This is a group of people that we just offer each other space, and we share very vulnerable writing and moments and a lot of laughs and ridiculousness. And there will be some adult content, but a lot of this is appropriate for all of us. So first we have Jayana.
Woo, 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 woo. Yay. Oh, I put my mouth on it. This mic thing is weird. So I'll be doing 2 readings from my best friend's book, Labyrinth of the Melanated Being. Her name is Corinne Dyer, or she goes as Poetic. You can get this on Amazon for $12. The first one that I'm reading is called Confessions of a Black Girl. Or, excuse me, Confessions of a Fat Black Girl. My bad. Whoops. 1, my bones are not that big. 2, I have not been fat all of my life. However, this is the body that I know best, since this is the body that's been here the longest. I don't like this wind. 3, all the words I've heard from guys who said they like their girls BBW are pure lies. 4, people use plus size or full figure if they like you. 5, I Google fat black girl, and the first page was full of porn and sex videos. 6, I'm more than an identity you have a sexual fetish for. 7, I'm not your mamie. 8, I'm not your caretaker, cook, or confidant. 9, I'm not on a pancake box. 10, I deserve to be more than someone's auntie or loud black friend. 11, fat black girls have sex too. 12, yes, that's how high my legs can go. 13, I'm too much woman to let you think that I'm not worthy of finding someone who finds me attractive and wants to be with me. 14, sometimes I think I'm not worthy of love and affection. 15, sometimes I feel destined to be alone, like my weight is attached to a black hole made for black girls like me. 16, sometimes I feel like being fat doubles down on the oppression that I already face in this world. 17, I do like having extra space for seats, so if you don't sit next to me, I thank you in advance. 18, 18, I don't get this economic assumption that fat black girls have more money. 19, don't tell me the use of more fabric is the reason I have to pay more for clothes. 20, Torrid is too expensive for me. 21, I have people in my life who tell me that they love me, telling me that I would look better if I lost weight. 22, I love those people not as much as I could. 23, yes, daddy, especially you. 24, I'm an emotional eater. 25, self-esteem isn't as high as my blood pressure. 26, I do want to lose some weight. 27, I've tried. 28, I failed. 29, food tastes good. 30, I tried again. 31, I have no desire to be thin. 32, I like me. 33, I love me. 34, I'm pretty. 35, I'm sexy. 36, I'm beautiful. 37, my legs, my thighs, my back, my arms, my hands, my ass, my breasts. I love my body. 38, I look in the mirror and I like what I see. 39, if you're a black girl reading this, you're beautiful too. Yum, yum, yum. Second one is called My Hair. I hate reading out loud. I just hope everybody that's watching this knows this.
Why we love you.
I'm doing this because Heather told me to. So this one is titled My Hair. So my hair is a piece of gold. It's golden, though it's not that color. It's dark as the night sky till you see the underlying mocha brown in the sunlight. It's like fuzz, then cotton, then butter. Doesn't really do soft shit well. Likes to bounce, knows how to bounce up and down, and sometimes it stops there. I can't get it to come back down to earth. Shrinks like it's proud to be that tight. Like no product or thing in this world can bring it down. There's all kinds of curls and coils, curls like circles, like hula hoops, coils like pencils. like crochet needles, is quite incomparable. Sometimes doesn't curl or coil at all. Sometimes it's too limp, too straight, or too unsure of itself. But always know its true essence is a work of art on public display. Displays my imperfections, my works in progress, my creations, my regrets, my decisions, is on display for interactive shows. Some that they were ready for, some they were not. Is foreign to white hands. Isn't a fan of tourists who treat it like a museum. Even at museums, they don't let you touch the pieces of work. Is a piece of work, and as a curator, I'd like for my work to be respected. Is black with roots so black like my ancestors. Is good, is not good, is great. Loves my head, flies with the wind. Never waits for the wind to be fly. Never waits for the signs to be beautiful. Just is.
Who's number 2?
That was number 2. Somebody wasn't listening.
Shayla?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Jayana.
You're welcome.
You would like to read again later? Thank you. That's wonderful. And next we have Shayla. Shayla's reading 2 poems for us, right? Here we go. Shayla is progressing at a satisfactory rate. That's it. That's all they wrote. What sections of my life constitutes as satisfactory? How could they know I fought in my sleep, pillow-caked in dysphoria? I didn't answer what they didn't ask. I didn't answer when they knocked on my doors. I scraped at the walls. I wedged myself between hard places, met people who wanted to fill my gaps between my teeth, my legs, my history. There's a mood to me. Sitting patiently at the end of my bed, holding on to the post. I've forgotten what it feels like in childhood. Is progress really progressive if it's rushed and sloppy? Slumped over in my chair till late hours, working on something or the other. Is progress progressive in bed, thinking about it? Thinking's all I ever do. I hate who I sleep next to. She talks inside my head, clothes, stitched, baked, a ghoul. They didn't know these things when they wrote about me, didn't know the frozen girl I was behind the desk, doing the work any good girl should. I keep the temperature a cool degree around here, and still I wake up in sweats. My whispering girl on top of me. That's the first one. Alright, this one's a little rougher. Weigel told me things were censored, and now they're not. Father with a gun to mouth, mothers with pills in hand, brother with noose around neck and myself. Standing in the closet, finding excuses to live. Living for each other, dying by ourselves. I've spent my time in closets and showers between the dryer and the wall, climbed out the window and going for a walk. Time is something I am always fighting against. It always takes before that last goodbye. It always leaves me wondering how much of it I have left, how much I'm letting tick by while I miss its passing. I'm not a stranger to the last grain of sand in the hourglass. I never have enough. In the closet, counting my hours, my days, my weeks, and finding something, sometimes nothing to come for. I haven't finished what I need to say. Nothing's been done by staying in the house. I hold growth closer to me than home. I'm beyond it. I've grown up more than I thought I would, faster than I thought I should. It's away from me, short fingers and weak grasp. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Shayla. And next we have the magical Titania. I'm going to be reading 2 poems. Hatred and I are misinformed on the other. Still though, we approach each other in puffed chests, and what if something happens? Do I have to explain it? Do we have to hold it beyond hands? I am misinformed on hatred. I am.
For if I were to put into my own words, I would have mistook it for a ball, one I could kick around. But I feel desperate for, I don't know, perhaps a gold filling for these wounds, or the chance to seek refuge in that shallow dip, the one that shapes your lips. It is breathtaking. I could stay a while. And then to display your chest as a vessel of roses for what? To set high expectations? Yeah. Now would be a good time to shift your gaze. Now would be a good time to shift your gaze. Now would be a good time to shift your gaze. Okay, that one didn't have a title. This one is called Outfit of the Day. Today I dressed in the same palette as the painting I prayed out last night. Most importantly orange, and yet most importantly 10 uneven strokes of mint to match my most important mint hat. Was sort of hoping you would notice my colors, you, the useless subject of my confused. A ring bounced around, middle to ring to thumb, a sure way to always feel all the announcements my fingers make. I rub my hands together as if it helps me work through. A surface gesture. My bra, a blue salt and pepper, hidden hues whose straps push calm pressure upon already steady collarbones. Most importantly orange, and yet I was hoping you would notice my colors as they wave their frantic hues in your face. To finally get your attention and tell you what. Exactly.
She's number 4, my lord.
I thought I was number 5.
She's 5. I'm 6.
Who's 4? Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Too late now.
Sit down, Michaela.
It's too late now.
Oh, it's my fault. You can blame me.
Hi everyone. Michael didn't introduce me. My name's Michaela. I like to go by Mickey.
Oh, Mickey, you're so
I'm gonna read 2 probably excruciatingly long poems, so I would like to apologize in advance. My modern day witch, I beg of you this, burn at no stake. Let no fire burn you in sacrifice when its origin is not your own. Ignite only flames of future and passion from your fingertips. Take no prisoners and be one never. Your infernal capacity is never to be held in the hands of a mortal who seeks only to make a circus of you, turning your bones into a trophy case. They will search for you. Your ashes are not to be scattered. Turn them into the snakes they are, crawling hand over belly to retrieve you in any and every body that looks familiar to your sweltering eyes. See them for what they are. You are not a magic trick. Your balance is not a scale to weigh themselves on. Your natural inclination turns them on. But baby, you've been on. They will play with you like an abracadabra wand, like towards and towards and towards, turned into what is else and what is left. Hands turn to foreplay that does not make you leak from your secrets. It only makes you bleed. Some will study. They will read and write you only to play make-believe you with their belief in you. Do not swallow their worms. Let them decay. Your teeth only produce venom when biting into an enemy. You are not to be captured. Spin the dial. Own your own pendulum. Ask and you will be answered. You are not an answer to any undercover. undercover to turn to witch hunter when you do not complete them. They will love you. They will love to chase you, only to try to crush you like ants once your personality is too wide to cut into, too well done to bleed out. You are not Lilith. Learn from her mistakes. Do not serve anything unless you are served a plate first. This is the most recent poem I've written, and it is probably the longest, so I'm very sorry. But also not sorry.
Yeah, no apologizing.
No.
She breathes. Quiet. By nature, perhaps by habit. She does not owe the world her purity. She does have it. Make no mistake, she cleans out her closet often. She smiles the way the wind blows and crochets blankets from flower beds. She is soft in those ways. She makes tea, steeps it, twirling honey with her delicate fingers. They are delicate by design, perhaps by necessity. She is a dandelion wished to herself on childhood highs. Her room never gets too dirty. Sands the books, sands some cups of half empty from days of desperate survival through what her softness could not aid her in. Water. Water is enough, she says. But she is whole in her unholiness, her release. She does not shake. Her body is made of gears grinding in sync. She will put her body to meet your tongue. She knows no master but her desire then. They were different. The odd men with their oddment ways of needing her. Maybe she needed to be needed. For affirmation, perhaps by desperation, but her. In her nothing is missing, but she tries on new clothes. Braids her hair with the hands that make good, dips her ends in water she boils from her own heat. She isn't trying to escape, at least not loudly. She's trying to mutate into something new, some far-off version of herself. This one that does not know there will be destruction in this path. This one that does not need skin to skin herself to meet up with old ends. The one that knows where she comes from. But she knows. Nothing will make her less earth, nothing less human, nothing less of the birds that sing of calamity but make it sound sweet. She is no mortal. She is no fool. Her battle is Calvary on damp nights like this, when she asks her hands for fire, but they pour more cups of water. It boils. She says, I know this land. They have followed me. These houses I dream of are my own. And she sleeps on thorn crowns, but has trained herself not to bleed the same color twice. She and her caution is that she will not make these things right. Her correctness is a double-edged sword. She knows she needs to go where she has not before, but unearthing the heaps of gravel laid in her weight is feeling. She is ripe now. It is her season. She is big-headed and eager and knows what she will take. Her skin is supple. She paints clay across it 3 times a week to keep it that way, but I think perhaps she's trying to mold herself. She smells like summer's sweetness, when things are new and nothing will ever be the same. She is the climax of warm things. When all her places are made, she sits and eats the fruits of her legs. She is ready. But she blinds herself, breathing quiet. Not too much noise, not too much of anything. It feels like ripping out stitches that were left in too long. Healing is very little external. Seeing is believing. She knows they are here. They have taken too much from her harvests, but she had become reliant on picking hands to make her useful. So to this I say, I will give you these hands of mine. Make them messy in you. I will tend your soil while you rest. I will suck on you like mango skins. I will breathe in your accent. I have tasted your sweet, but my drug of choice is not a sugar high. Teach me of your bitterness. I will give you gifts. You must learn to take them. I cannot rely on you. You must learn that I do not need your usefulness. I have my own soil to bury myself in, watering my own body and binding books from my own spine, but I will write you in these things. You will have a place in my home. I will take nothing more than what I know how to replace in return. You can take those clothes off. You can hold your morning service in my living room on my chest. I will collect your tears to boil, and I will wash your feet in them. I am not here to hide you. I cannot help you be quiet. I will hand you lemons because I know you will need them. I know you will need to mix it into your survival cups, detoxing from what does not make you sweet. Your ugly does not scare me. I have come to understand that things like us are made to burn sometimes. I will dress your candles. My hands will smell like rose oil when you let me anoint myself in you. But we will not pray to each other. I won't ask your secrets to hold their tongues. Show me the ways you make trees grow. Show me the way you make trees grow, how it's painful to breast through the earth, how you never know what's waiting there, but you know that you need to go, how children know you are safe, how they will ride their bikes to your yard to tell you that your hair grows like theirs, that you are seen. There is more of you in the world than you care to imagine, and I will keep you awake. I will not give your fear a warm bed to sleep in. I will make it sleep on leeches. While it's welcome here, it cannot eat from our land. It must find a way to provide for itself outside of you. If it can, I will provide you with salt and sulfur. Whatever you need to boil the anguish, you will drink it. I will see you in your rawness, and I will meet you there when you arrive. I will not breathe quietly, forcefully, perhaps, for my own sake. She says that there is sun in me. I say the sun belongs to the moon. I will bear scars to you if you let me kiss your blisters. I will fight for your flowers to bloom. Her big eyes can make wine of my water, walk on miracles, and land will hold her feet steady. She is brave. She will hurt. I will let her do with it the way she is more than soft. I will be ready to smell her iron. I will let her make of me a canvas. There will be no surrender to laying empty next to each other. I will attend her funerals with her. I will hold her flowers as she picks them, and I will listen to her screams. We will not attach to each other, but dance in her bath water. We will not own ourselves, but own ourselves only. So we may choose to give to each other what we make of these bodies. She will kiss out of rhythm from a dry mouth. We will suck water from each other like children go to feed. Shame will not live in this house. This land is yours. Command in your reservedness, though it will obey you from its knowing of your more. She is quiet. Perhaps by nature, but I'm beginning to think more so by choice.
That was amazing, Nikki.
Thanks, Mom.
Killed it. Next up, we have Alora. Please welcome Alora.
Hi, so my poems are a little bit shorter, but I have two of those. So the first one's called Shallow Breaths. Shallow breaths. My chest feels like an endless cave, and my heart is an earthquake, trembling. My diaphragm contracts, hard. Tears spill from the peaks of my eyes. I can't stop. My heart, I'm gasping for air. My throat hugs barbed wires. My body burns and aches. My chest bursts into flames. I'm crying out. I'm screaming so loud. So that was the first one. I just apologize. Alright. This one's called 4:42 a.m. A wildness in my mind is keeping me awake. I listen. The whirring in the walls remind me of silence. I picture vast landscapes of imaginary oceans and deserts I long to explore. I am in the mood to paint. I think of the color indigo. If I had to paint a perfect world, I would paint it indigo. The word changes to a high-pitched hum. It reminds me of airplanes traveling to faraway places in the middle of the night. I imagine a night in the Serengeti filled with stars, wild howls in the empty night. Ocean waves breaking the silence of the night. Blossoms, fragrance in the air. Nothing separating me from my thoughts.
I'm your biggest fan.
Yes, take your mask off. Yes. I guess you can.
She took it off before she got the answer. I'm annoyed. She's like, can I take this off? But I did it anyway.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Jayana.
Hey, baby.
I'm gonna read 3 poems I've written earlier today, and then I'll close it out with a poem by Danette Smith. Alright, this one unsettled me a little bit when I was writing it, so it's titled Don't Be Trapped in My Future. The ropes feel so light on my wrists, velvet to the touch and stark white. I drag them with me everywhere. They are my comfort, my weights, my soft bindings. They start to tighten and begin to feel heavier as I look toward our future. They no longer feel soft, no longer comforting. They are no longer white or right or good. They are stained red, chafing my wrist, painting a stark reality of the torture we enduring. They drag me to the ground and wrap around my writhing body, trying to bring me to the underground. It digs a trench and shoots into the blackness. I hear screams and wails in the chasm. Hands are tugging on my clothes, trying to pull me down, trying to push me up. My ropes are trying to shove dirt in my mouth, hoping I choke on the good dark earth and my will to live. The screams grow louder and louder. The dirt becomes easier to breathe through. The sky is no longer rumbling and everything stops. My ropes loosen around my wrists, shed the blood. It was drinking from my wounds and forms a ladder. Scrambling up as fast as I can, I ask myself, why am I still depending on the very thing that tried to bury me alive? I reach earth. I reach this green asphalt, concrete, polluted haven and cough up hell. I'm barely out, being pulled up by blurry, pixelated hands. I'm wailing, my gratitude slumped and exhausted and not aware. They're positioning me in place for something. 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 The rope is no longer a ladder but a noose, and my last thought is, will I go viral tonight? That was number 1.
Wow.
Alright. And the second one is titled, Can't You Love Me Deeper Than That? She asked me this question after blowing her nose and rubbing her eyes. We just made love. But for me, it wasn't love per se. Maybe the near religious experience of glancing at it, driving far, 100 miles per hour, for maybe 2 seconds. She says this after we have breakfast, and I'm getting ready to leave without saying goodbye. Bent over the sink, her shoulders too tight for it to be a casual question. She says it after we watch the same romance movie for the 30th time, trying to compare what I do to what he does. I always want to say yes. I always say no. I don't know how to love, how to curl myself around my lover and kiss her bruised petals. I can't ever give her the gentle touch she wants without being afraid of breaking that glass heart with my heavy hands. I never know how to wipe away her tears the right way after we argue, afraid that she'll be afraid that I finally let something other than a smile make an appearance. I don't know how to love. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I'm so afraid of what we can be that I keep us here because I wasn't taught how to take care of anyone's heart. That was the second. And the last one is titled Milkshake Monologues. From a movie. It looks good. But, I can't wait for my milkshake monologue, voicing nonsense and abstract fluff to the world over some delicious drink. I wanted to soothe my throat that's gone raw, dry, and croaky from spending hours on end. I want to sit in a late-night diner and watch the traffic go by over some greasy food. Ponder where they're all going and if they'll be happy once they get there. I want to read a menu while it's pouring rain outside, glad to be warm and dry while yearning the freedom of dancing in the rain and slipping in the mud. I want to be comfortable and feel content with someone. I want to break from my usual silence and restraints when I'm with them. Tell them all the dumb thoughts sprinting through my brain. Talk about the world, our favorite shows, and what artists we would marry if we believed in it. I want to be with someone who pushes my boundaries and gets me to open up about what I'm insecure about. See through the false bravado I display on the daily and whisper in my ear that they got my back and see me. They see me, not in a literal sense, but that they understand me. They know that this isn't the real me. The real me is someone who can go on for hours without speaking or talk for hours about nothing. The real me isn't as goofy as I pretend to be, but just as vulnerable, loving, and open. The real me who loves hearing stories and facts and a soothing voice that can calm my racing mind and help funnel the chaos up here. I want someone who knows almost everything about me but delights themselves with learning something new every day. I want something exciting. I want something stable. I want it to last forever, but have it feel like it's the first day every time I see them. I want to have those milkshake monologues and wonder if I'm ever going to get them. All right, now I got to get them. So this is titled Dear White America, and I apologize if I get emotional. It's a very, very good poem. Dear White America, I've left Earth in search of darker planets, a solar system revolving too near a black hole. I've left in search of a new God. I do not trust the God you have given us. My grandmother's hallelujah is only outdone by the fear she nurses every time the blood-fat summer swallows another child used to sing in the choir. Take your God back. Though his songs are beautiful, his miracles are inconsistent. On the fate of Lazarus for Anisha, want Chucky, Bo, Mish, Trayvon, Sean, and Janila risen 3 days after their entombing. Their ghosts regifted flesh and blood, their flesh and blood regifted their children. I've left Earth. I'm equal parts sick of your go back to Africa, and I just don't see color. Neither did the poplar tree. We did not build your boats, though we did leave a trail of kin to guide us home. We did not build your prisons, though we did, and we fill them too. We did not ask to be part of your America, though are we not America? Her joints brittle and dragging a ripped gown through Oakland. I can't stand your ground. I'm sick of calling your recklessness the law. Each night I count my brothers. In the morning, when some do not survive to be counted, I count the holes they leave. I reach for black folks and only touch air. Your master magic trick, America. Now he's breathing, now he don't. Abracadabra, white bread voodoo, sorcery you claim not to practice. Hand my cousin a pistol to do your work. I tried, white people. I tried to love you. But you spent my brother's funeral making plans for brunch, talking too loud next to his bones. You took one look at the river, plump with the body of boy after girl after sweet boy, and asked, why does it always have to be about race? Because you made it that way. Because you put an asterisk as my sister's gorgeous face, call her pretty for a black girl. Because black girls go missing without so much as a whisper of where. Because there are no Amber Alerts for amber-skinned girls. Because Jordan boomed. Because Emmett whistled. Because Huey P. spoke. Because Martin preached. Because black boys can always be too loud to live. Because it's taken my papa's and my grandma's time, my father's time, my mother's time, my aunt's time, my uncle's time, my brother's time, my sister's time. How much time do you want for your progress? I've left Earth to find a place where my kin can be safe, where black people ain't but people the same color as the good, wet earth, until that means something. Until then, I bid you well. I bid you war. I bid you our lives to gamble with no more. I've left Earth. Now I'm touching everything you beg your telescopes to show you. I'm giving the stars their right names. In this life, this new story and history you cannot steal or sell or cast overboard or hang or beat or drown or own or redline or shackle or silence or cheat or choke or cover up or jail or shoot or jail or shoot or jail or shoot or ruin this. If only this one is ours. And I'm done.
Hi, I'm Leah. I'm just gonna read one poem. I'm not sure if we were all supposed to prepare multiple, but I think I missed that memo, and I'm a little disappointed at Weigel and all of you for showing me up. So, without further ado, young girls sleep in the oceans of their mother's projected trauma. Young girls never learn the word narcissism until the damage has already infected their brain. Young girls do anything to get away. Substances, sports, friend support. A young girl will do anything to get past the present, past their mother's resentment, as if them being born was the worst thing to happen to them. They don't love you, they love the idea of you. They love everyone around them, seeing how close the two of you are. They weren't told that's just the public screening. Young girls find new places to tear their skin, to cut it open and find a way to climb out of the body they were forced into, the body they were taught to hate, the body they were told isn't good enough. They watch their mother's critiques in the mirror, then they're told, "You look a lot like your mother." Well, do I look like her flaws? If she looks in the mirror and hates herself, does she look at me as her mirror image? Is that why she hates me? Is that why I hate me? Young girls look for attention, using their bodies to drag them out of an emotional abyss, becoming drained with each new perspective offer. Young girls just want love. They were never told that theirs was enough. Young girls learn from mistakes. Young girls are observant, dissecting new information. Young girls devour the system that never wanted to see her thrive, that didn't want to recognize her person, that told her she could not persevere. Young girls did so without your permission. Young girls are driven, young girls are fierce, young girls are powerful, young girls are worthy, young girls are me, young girls are within all of us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shamaya. I have two. So here I go. What some people call my beauty, I see as flaws. My perverse booty as a curse. My acne as a blessing and my intelligence as an honor. Because people don't see the real you unless you make them. So I take my stand because it's time to awake them and show them the real me. I'm not just an hourglass. I'm someone who's smart but struggles to pass. I'm someone who loves to be liked and likes to be loved, but they rather see my bottom than my face that's above. Because my greenish hazel eyes and my golden blonde hair with a smile only a mother could love isn't enough to attract someone who cares more about my beauty and less about my flaws. This next poem, I got a little secret to tell. So, about a year and 3 days ago, I wrote this poem that I'm about to share with you. And I wrote this poem because I was in a really dark place, and for a long time, I was in denial about that. So, most people who've heard this poem before always heard that it was about a friend of mine. In all reality, that friend wasn't me. Two windows, one me. Do I make a move? See, I've been suffering from pain and depression. Maybe if I die, that'll teach the world a lesson. Tell me, is that the way? Do I give up, or should I live another day? I don't want to go because I know there'd be hell to pay, but I don't want to stay because I'm living in hell. It's like a jail. I get chains, but I don't get bail. They can lock my body, but they can't trap my mind. I'm stuck in this cage. The pain is running down my spine. I signal for help, but they can't read my sign. Am I invisible? Is the world just blind? I'm not the only one. I know there's several to my kind. They cover up their arms and pretend they're doing fine. But I'm tired of pretending. There's a message that I'm sending. You can't stop suicide if there's problems still pending. I can't continue to live if there's lives still ending. Thank you.
We love you, Queen.
That's perfect. Like, you feel that on many levels. I had to say
Coffee, baby.
just run by the camera magically.
Okay. Hi, I'm Michaela. This
Hi,
is my
baby.
first time reading anything. So.
It's your first time?
Yeah.
It's pretty short, so.
Get stage right.
There's no stage.
I felt a different kind of pain. The kind of pain where it is blatantly explainable yet it cannot be explained. The kind of pain where it hurts but a numb kind of pain. I felt a different kind of pain. I felt a different kind of pain from the same person.
I love you!
One more. Beautiful. Thank you.
Think about it for a second.
No, 'cause I have more, but like.
I think it's Janas's turn.
Yes.
No, I don't. I didn't read.
What? I was pointing at Evan.
She's like,
Hi, I'm Janasha.
Yeah, it's speak right in.
I
You can.
You can
Yeah,
raise
you can
it.
pull it out and you can raise it. Yep, either one. It's fancy.
and I will be reading something of mine. A child sat down next to me, and that child was me. Her arms were crossed, and there were tears in her eyes. She asked me why it rained and how they could do such a thing. I told her I didn't know. A girl sat down next to me, and that girl was me. Her eyes were hardened, and there were holes in her heart. She asked me how to feel and why she hated the air she breathed. I told her I couldn't know. A woman sat down behind me, and that woman was me. She was bleeding from her eyes, unable to hold it in. Gasping and writhing, she asked me when I would heal. I told her I didn't know how. An angel sat in front of me, and that angel was what I could be. Arms outstretched, glowing with ancient hope. She kissed me on my cheeks and told me it was time. Her summons brought me to my knees. I turned to the child, whose eyes were wide with longing, and held her in my arms until I became weak. Thank you.
You can read again.
You can go again.
You got something now.
No pressure.
Definitely, none at all. Okay. This one is titled 3 p.m. Thrift Shop Love Letter. Love Letter. My love for you, darling, isn't polished and it isn't refined. It's untrained and spills like cheap acrylic outside of the lines, but my God, if it isn't genuine. It's brighter than Mook 1909 screaming Jones in the AM. I love how you didn't even ask me if I liked red, and with passion you painted, day and night, with a splintered paintbrush that drew blood from your thumbs as you gently stroked the rips in my canvas, and for the back cloth you called it in a land unconquered where, with hues of blues and a naive green, you laid my scene with the vivid euphoria found in the minds of still children. I love that blind may I be because I cannot see this world without you in it. I can feel your tour de force with the tips of my fingers, and because of your eyes, I've scraped the heaven you've escaped from which you shake its dust onto the brush for my masterpiece. To you, you thoughtless creator of thoughts unfinished. Through mishaps and dashed portraits, you never let your eyelids grow as heavy as the palette in your palm and your painting. Why use a golden frame for the first piece? Your uninhibited expression has left such an impression that in the distance I see Clint 1907 painting me as a crooner of the moon's praises with you by my side, you maestro of madness.
It was on the flawed wandering of the mind in you that I found the meaning of art itself. I found that the beauty was not in the illustration, but in the intention. And once you stepped back to show me your offbeat oeuvre, I knew I would never see truth again without you to show me how. So never leave me, darling. It's you and the moon I see, and the corner of the cosmos, and the skyline of that painting that you've hung in my room, that you finished for me.
The wind is performing for us. It's making music.
Alright, I'm back because Weigel said so. I feel like an attention hoe, but we don't hate those here, so. Alright. I don't title anything because I feel like it doesn't need it. I want a house where I can go on the porch when it rains and not wake anyone. A house that smells like linen, with lemons on the table and lilacs in the backyard. I want to owe nothing to anyone and vice versa. I used to be angry, probably every day, and now I'm just sad. Letting down is to letting go. I think about most things people shouldn't. I think about people dying, family dying. I think about heartbreak and all its ways and the symptoms that go with it. I make myself cry before anyone else can. I stay up and wonder why I'm so tired. I wonder why my eyes are dried out and I can't get out of bed in the morning. And I think about my porch. My stupid, insignificant, little fucking porch that's too small for me and too noisy for my neighbors. And that's it.
Yeah. Fuck that porch. Alright, Dan's gonna go up again real quick to Sky School City.
Walk faster.
Oh boy.
Sorry, someone told me to walk faster and fuck authorities. So
Oh my god.
Okay.
Anarchy right now.
when I met you, a hammer and chisel began etching a thin line around the sides of my heart. Here you were, cracking me wide open. The pain of my childhood, distress, unrest. The tears of a broken family, distress, unrest. The hopelessness of depression, distress, unrest. You kept that line steady. Your hands move in detail, careful not to open me all the way. Inside, you find things that I love. Inside, you find there is hope. Inside, you find that happiness I had locked away. When you're done, you find that you've made a locket. A heart that I can open up to show how precious life can be and lock away for people undeserving. Inside, you find a place for you. You've made a space in my prison. You've brought light and keys, so I never have to stay locked away again.
I love you.
Hello, my name is Kai Moses.
Yes, hi.
This is very impromptu. But okay. Let's see. This is called Death Poem. There will come a day when the fear of death will be the favorite joke passed amongst corpses, and they are already laughing. My love, please don't be afraid. But there will come a day when field mice play in our empty sockets, when our bones become homes for living creatures other than our egos, and when time jostles our skeletons out of the composition that is me and you, and will write with us love letters that spell I owe you eternity.
If we believe in life after death, and I often wonder why we assume the dead like coffins when people were never meant to live in boxes. So I pray that our children have the good sense to leave us a little wiggle room. Leave us exposed like stray dogs in a thunderstorm, and I will hear the breeze but not know it as the breeze, and I will feel the rain but not know it as the rain, and I will behold the sky but not know it as the sky. Instead, I will hear the breeze and think it's your love, returned into the hearth of my ears. And I will feel the rain and think it is the pinprick of your kiss. And when the rain is tender, I will know that something has softened you. And when the rain is violent, I will know something has shaken you. And in this newfound understanding without eyes or ears or hands or lips, our bare bones will make love in the dirt, never knowing our nakedness. Imagine the wind coursing through a calligraphy of weeds. In our disrepair, we have grown garden of ourselves, sprouts of curious grass shooting from my eye sockets, our knuckles hard, smooth skipping stones meant for child's play, and the devilish sun picking its way through your missing teeth. And neither one of us can keep from smiling these days. And the days go unnoticed, and the nights go unslept, and we talk with our souls through the holes in our ribs where organs once sat. Imagine your skull and mine reduced to grins, both washed clean of our skins and our sins, growing young again, forgetting why we ever wrinkled, why we ever furrowed our brows, with the plow of anger become dust with me. Insignificant in every way, I will love you, even after your marrow has become a whisper in your bones, nothing but a snickering of gravel. Let us soak in these spaces, our shadows left behind, your skeleton laced with mine, and I will tie your souls to my ankles and know what it's like to step into a dream, and you will try on my backbone and see how bad it hurt. The day you said you were willing to call it quits. I don't remember why you left or why you came back. I don't know how many years have passed. Not really sure years passed at all. All I know is the rain falls, you kiss me, like a rainfall. The sun, it bleaches us clear, and every day is a romance. All this to say, we are already laughing. There is a wedding of earthworms and pebbles waiting. When our tuxedo skeletons no longer fit, there is a place for our faces to lie, planted beside forever smiling. There is a place where we can be still and in love. There exists a place where we can still be in love. Just two gentle skulls.
I'm back. This is a rhyming one, so it was originally a song, but I'm going to try and read it. Okay. I've seen the stars fall from the sky. I've felt my life just scurry by. I've smelt the old ancient times that's in the wind which coincides. I've felt the twitch within my hips, no smoke, no tall tales and extra dips. Smell the roses from the core, give, never take, and ask for more. That's how you put it on hold, behind the door of the stainless steel chinaware of gold. Turn on the switch, yet turn it off. Conserve the power, yet use it all. Clock strikes at midnight. Run, but don't trip and fall. This is no fairy tale, foes in a casket, granted by my wishes, yet enclosed in a basket. Be aware, yet unfazed by everything that dares to stay. On the contrary, don't be sad and wary. Keep a smile on your face, and let society seep into your mind. No time to recognize the two truths in one lie, hidden far beyond the little cries.
Woo, 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 woo. Yeah!
Is that it? Heather, are you going up?
I forgot.
Get your ass up there! How dare you?
I'm not gonna read.
Listen, guys.
Wasn't ready right now.
I can tell you want to go.
But
It's
you
not
know
my
what?
fault.
Okay, so like the last one, this was originally a rap. So thanks for that. I am gonna try to read it because the way I say it, it kind of sounds more like a rap than a poem, but it was meant to be.
Go!
Love is a four-letter phrase that we all praise. Love is a four-letter word that we all crave. Love without hope, it's like faith with no story. Success with no glory, or me without you. He doesn't truly love you. Can I start over? I'm sorry.
Yeah?
Love is a four-letter word that we all wait. I'm sorry, that's messing me up because I'm starting to look like.
There's sirens, yeah.
Love is a four-letter phrase that we all praise. Love is a four-letter word that we all crave. Love without hope is like faith with no story. Success with no glory, or me without you. He doesn't really love you. He just wants to see the best of you. Oh, I'm sorry. My best friend has PTSD, so every time I hear sirens, I'm just like, is he okay? Is he okay? And that's like the last thing I had. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just need it to go by, because it's like...
Yeah, just take a minute. It's okay.
It's just like this worry that goes over my head every time I hear a siren.
You can let it pass.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna try to go.
Oh,
Okay?
oh, she's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to go. I'm sorry.
It's going by.
Love is a four-letter phrase that we all praise. Love is a four-letter word that we all crave. Love without hope is like faith with no story. Success with no glory, or me without you. He don't really love you. He just want to take the best of you. Consideration and dedication to this one soul. Doing all it takes just to see a smile. You ask about his love because you ain't feeling it in a while. You fight until you can't, that's what you learned when you was younger. You can't take this pain, your stomach hurts from the hunger. Hunger to be loved, hunger to be helped. This pain is real different, nothing like you've ever felt. You don't want to give up, the hope is holding you down. You're trying to keep him around, but he's moved on. Loving on his new friend, getting his smooth on. Posting about his new girl, knowing you're gonna see it. It's hard to fast forward when you're willing to repeat it. Begging for his love, cause you knowing that you need it. But you're a real beauty, real queen, let it show. He couldn't treat you right, so it's time to let him go. He trying to take your smile and he fucking up your flow. Go get your money, girl, and don't be stressing over hoes. Life is too short to be guessing. Don't be worried about him because I hope he's taught you a lesson. He got you feeling broken, you don't want to go outside. You don't want to face the facts, so you want to do is cry. You better wipe them tears, that's not how your mama raised you. You gave him all your love and he still turned around and played you. You gave him all your power when he was being unfaithful. You took him back again, he still was acting ungrateful. Move on with your life. You can be somebody's wife. You can make somebody proud, so you don't mix up with the crowd. Get your nails done and do your hair real nice. Go hang out with your friends and sip the Henny with the ice. Don't do it once if you can't do it twice. You don't gotta take my word to take a little bit of advice.
All right, we have one more poem and then a big birthday send-off to one of our favorite people. Maybe another poem. But here comes Mickey back with another one.
And still no shoes.
Back again.
I like that.
Okay, so I wanted to start this last poem off with a quote from one of my favorite people and writers ever, Toni Morrison. She said, "There is no time for despair, no place for self-pity, no need for silence, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language, and that is how civilizations heal." So that was Toni Morrison. And I miss her a very great deal. Very sad that she's passed. So, this is another one of my kind of long poems. But this one's a little bit better. How painful would it be to forget your way into life? To never run after trains who move further in directions you're too afraid to find yourself following? who hold dreams you won't look at too closely, out of worry of diminishing the prospect of maybes. How painful would it be to hold maybes too closely? Your only lover ever being halfway there, how hard would it be to fight only to hold the hands of what could be? How excruciating to play a supporting role in someone else's story, demoted to margin lines and words held in a collar. How painful would it be to never fail, to never scrape your knees from falling from stories so high? How agonizing it must be to never open cages that don't lock, being hypnotized into becoming someone's favorite circus act, the moment the sky breaks itself open to cry down its failings. We grow from what hadn't fit right in the heavens. How painful it would be to welcome only hands you must translate your skin for, accepting uneven love languages cut into crude shapes into each meal, tongues that don't taste your saltedness, who ask you to be nothing but sweet and low for their dull cups of morning coffee. How painful it would be to fill your room with a spark, only to ask permission to glow, only to remain a slaveholder's biddings, a self-serving priest's interpretation of your holiness, only to hand over your best things, to be dressed up in someone else's Sunday best every morn, with seams too tight to slip into without rug burn. Why do you ask permission to release your breath? How painful it must be to starve, to never be hungry, the kind of hungry that makes you move. Desperation only makes you beg, but how painful it would be to let yourself believe that just anything will do, that poison is good enough to quench your thirst, that stale bread and wine are enough to make you whole in someone else's image. Run for the trains that carry you through the hell of remembering. Stuff your shoes with red rubble, blister your hands from climbing trees when ladders only get you as far as they've been cut to go. Don't lie your way out of the things that make you intricate. Rawness would do you more justice than an acrobat voice ever could. You are the amazing thing. Let your blood boil. Let your voice curdle in their ears and speak and speak and speak and speak. You are not a punishment for your own existence. Run after what you want to believe in until your bones split down the middle. Faith takes meeting yourself halfway. Attend your own funerals over and over. Lay the dead pieces in the ground. Sing spirituals that only you pray into. Thank yourself for shedding your skin that no longer suits you well, no matter how much they all loved it, because you don't owe anybody beautiful. You owe yourself everything. Push until your fingers snap. Pick out any thorns, drink your own blood. Make the recipe over and over and over again until it's muscle memory, and then stir in more. Be terrified to the brink of uncertainty. Let it fill you to the rim and then let it spill all over. Make a mess of yourself. Don't clean anything up when you're asked to. Burn down cities in your own name. Be boundless. You can worry about grace later. Be loud. Let your battle cry pierce through history books. They will remember you forward and backwards. Don't let anybody make you go quiet for too long. Wade in the waters that are too deep and prune your skin. Remember what it feels like to fight for this life. Settle for nothing that makes you feel like you could never forget. What makes you feel like you're singing. Don't let yourself be so small that you let other people forget how long it took you to get here, how it started eons ago, when stars exploded and the cosmos cracked wide open, how it took millions and billions of circumstances and peculiar things to make you. So stand in the feet that you asked for. Forgive the maybes that you have stuck in your scar tissue. How painful it would be to never try, to let comfort sing you a lullaby, to live in thoughts of what has been and will be, to never know the moment, to never feel your heart pumping out of sheer power to exist, to keep you here. You see, trains follow the same tracks, so if you're late, then run for the next one. Be there. Don't surrender to anything that wouldn't kill to keep you breathing. How painful it would be to give up your glory because someone else didn't see it, to stay where you have to pierce your lips to keep them from spilling your truth, to cover up all the stains you make. You can't learn from your mistakes if you can't even remember them, if you're so polished that you have no traction to hold on to anything. They say, do not go gentle into that good night, though it promises you sanctuary. You, my dear, were built out of temples that they tried to burn down. Go with your fingers crossed behind your back, knowing that you will return in just a few more peculiar circumstances. Be afraid. And do it the fuck anyway, How painful would it be if you didn't?
And now we have the birthday send off. We already you're gonna go behind. You're gonna go behind so you can be on camera. Evan, get off the phone.
Like, boy, you are not on a phone.
Oh my god. Did you give it to the credit? Okay, it's no. It's Shania and Evan.
Do you have a tattoo that's on the phone? I did it myself. I did that one. And this one. And this one that we
Alright, here we go.
No, I just got it like 2 weeks ago.
Are you guys ready to sing? You're gonna get on the camera. I don't know.
Come on, Evan.
Ready?
Yes, good.
This gift to the world is turning 18.
Fucking sticking poke me, bro. It won't end up like this.
Like that.
So,
You're gonna go with that. Yeah.
If you're not fighting for justice so hard, your tattoo washes off. I don't want to live. Right. Wait, what are we doing?
Anyways.
Happy birthday! No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Sorry, I got excited.
Hey guys, so my name is Rashida. Some people know me as Sabrine, and here's my best friend Evan. Sometimes people know him as a bird, but we just keep that in the family. This is Lane, and tomorrow he turns how old?
47.
He's nasty 19 tomorrow. And I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday. So, would you like to start singing happy birthday for yourself, or should I?
no.
Oh my God, like straight A's, imperfect attendance. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. That's the kind of quality content that we offer over here.
I just wanted to say, shout out to Blessing, I love you. And you guys all look beautiful. Yes, especially my black queens. I love you guys. I love you guys. I wouldn't be here without y'all. And that's it. That's the end of the tweet. Thank you. Yeah, it's